Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Smiso Msomi, Senior Journalist at Independent Media. Welcome to another episode of the INDY Sports Recap. The Nedbank Cup continues to be a competition of dreams, and what a feast it served us this past weekend. Crazy stuff. Orlando Pirates doing the business, Kaizer Chiefs defying the odds, one step closer to ending that trophy drought. So let's just dissect how the two games went and how we have ourselves a Soweto Derby Nedbank Cup final. I think makes more sense to just start with the lesser dramatics of the two. Orlando Pirates, of course, not so much a routine win. And I don't think Pirates would have expected it to be a routine win over Marumo Gallants at Orlando Stadium yesterday. A grueling win. Not sure if it lived up to the semi-final hype. Not sure it was a match for the neutrals as well. But certainly, Orlando Pirates just doing enough. Beautiful goal by Kabelo Dlamini. By the way, the build up to that goal is a typical Orlando Pirates under Jose Rivero goal. So that would have been very pleasing for him and for everyone that was at the Orlando Stadium as well. So not so much, as I said, not so much a routine win, but having suffered a loss to Marumo Gallants in the league about a month or 2 months ago, I don't think any Orlando Pirates man would have expected more especially the fact that it was a semi-final. I don't think anyone would have expected it to be an easy win, but just the sheer quality, the character, and the experience, and more especially the cup experience, just shining through there for Orlando Pirates. Of course, they are the defending champions. Of course, they want to win it a third time. So you can just see the bump in their step whenever it gets difficult as well. You could see them sort of pulling together and drawing from those previous big occasions as well. So, yeah, in terms of the game, I don't think there's much to discuss from the game actually, because I don't think, in as much as there were periods of the game where Pirates obviously were placed under a little bit of pressure, which makes sense because when you have the lead, or rather when you're chasing a goal, people did expect that Marumo Gallants would sort of up the ante, try things as well, take more risks. Um, but yeah, I don't think Melo Sipseles was troubled much. I don't think Pirates needed a rear guard action. It was just as probably as straightforward as it could have gotten. Jose Rivero probably would have wanted more goals from his side as well, just to, you know, take those expectations sort of up a notch as well, and just up their confidence. But yeah, for Orlando Pirates, it's a third Nedbank Cup final in the last 3 years. It is a third Nedbank Cup final for Jose Rivero. It is a sixth Nedbank Cup plus the MTN 8. That's 6 finals in the last 2.5 seasons. Yeah, also, while we are on the subject of Jose Rivero obviously decided not to renew his contract at the end of the season with Pirates. And what a journey this has been for him. Uh, and everyone will never forget the sort of reception that he got when he first arrived at the country as an unknown entity, somewhat 2.5 years ago. All the jabs that were thrown at his way, at his CV. Yeah, so what a last 2.5 years this has been for him. Of course, you can see it in the emotions of the Pirates fans. A lot of people are actually in tears, or were in tears after finding out his decision to not remain with the club, and rightly so. If any coach, I mean, there will be a lot of detractors discussing the fact that perhaps he didn't reach the intended targets, because the plan was always to catch Sundowns. The plan was always to get back into the Champions League or possibly win the Champions League for the second time in Pirates' history. He's yet to achieve that, but he could possibly achieve that this season. It's not a far-fetched notion that he could possibly win all 4 trophies. Wow. Okay, so it's just crossed my mind now. He's already defended the MTN 8 Cup. He's in the final of the Nedbank Cup. He's in the semi-finals of the CAF Champions League. And he's within a shout for the league. Oh, what a farewell that would be. But yeah, just on him and what he's done for the club, I think if anyone told Pirates fans that Jose Rivero wouldn't be staying for long when he first arrived, that he would be here for just 3 seasons, but he would deliver a guaranteed 5 trophies, let alone the next 3 that they could possibly win now. But if you had told Pirates fans 5 trophies, and the like the kind of trophies that they won as well, I think anyone would have snatched your hand and taken it on. And the fact that there's a possibility that Rivero could leave and have that trophy haul to his name, I think he deserves a lot of credit. He deserves his flowers before he even leaves. He deserves to know that it's not many coaches that come into the Premier Soccer League and do what he does, even with the big clubs, even with Pirates. Pirates had been struggling for trophies for years as well. So for him to come in like that and perform the way that he did, and not just win trophies, but stylistically as well. I think the last time, I think perhaps the closest team that I could compare it to in terms of playing attractive and entertaining football. Yes, Pirates probably weren't successful in that time, but it was the coach Rolani Mokoena era, I think 2019. So that was fast-paced, that was entertaining. Everyone wanted to watch Pirates. Okay, it didn't have the requisite trophies, but Jose Rivera has been able to blend both of that, both the style of play and the nitty-gritties to be able to win and sort of get over the line in cup matches. So I think for him, for everything that he's achieved, it makes sense. I regard him very, very, very highly. Another person might argue that because he hasn't won the league, then he can't be possibly the best Pirates coach of the PSL era. I think he's trophy haul. I think having so many trophies, because cup competitions hold so much weight in the South African context. I'm putting him right up there. So if he could pull this off again, defend the Nedbank Cup, somewhat win one between the CAF Champions League and the league, I think it would be a special farewell for Coach Jose Rivera. And we have a Soweto Derby on our hands in the final of the 2025 Nedbank Cup final. Not many would have expected to hear those words, more especially considering the opponent of Kaizer Chiefs in the semi-finals. So Amakhosi pulled off a remarkable win, not just in terms of who they were playing, but in terms of the way that they pulled it off. Another person might say controversial, rightfully so, of course. How many times have we, whether the South African public or we as journalists, have spoken about the refereeing? I feel like that will, until the VAR is fully functional, but even then, it's not 100% accuracy guaranteed. But I think it'll probably help. But how many times have we seen wins or famous moments or but just being tainted by officiating? But nonetheless, I don't think any Chiefs fan is gonna care about that. They've felt the both ends of poor officiating, not only just this season but over the years as well. And they'll famously tell you so. They will show you pictures as well. I was seeing social media this morning. There's pictures floating around of previous games between themselves and Sundowns where they feel as if they've been undone. But anyway, uh, away from the officiating, uh, what a what a spectacular game of football, man! What a spectacular game of football. I don't think, of course, in the way that the game went, of course, a lot of people expected Sundowns to be in control of the match. It was just all about how Chiefs were going to react to that and how they were going to try to get the edge over Sundowns, because not that many teams are able to get the ball off Sundowns. I mean, Sundowns dominated Esperance at Loftus, and then they went on to Tunisia and dominated there as well. So that tells you about their pedigree and their ability to just dominate and decimate opponents at their own pace. But yesterday, that worked against them partially. Uh, Another person might say, but they had the lead at halftime and they looked in control. Yes, but it was almost as if they were set up perfectly for a Chiefs team that depends largely on speed, and particularly the speed of Wandile Duba. As young as he is, but he's one of Coach Nabi's most trusted soldiers, and that's why even when he did come back from injury, he was rushed back and put back into the fray of things, because he just provides that explosive energy and that sort of, it's a good naivety with him as well, because sometimes he just doesn't think much and he's just all about heart and he's all about energy, and that's sort of, I think, the kind of striker that Coach Nabi prefers as well. So I think that worked in their favor in Sundowns. He spoke after the match about the fact that they had done video analysis the entire week on how they were going to use his pace against the build-up of Sundowns, and how they had particularly targeted Lucas Suarez. And if you watch the game, then you know that he intercepted a Lucas Suarez pass, went straight on to goal, and he burst away from both Lucas Suarez and Grant Kekana. Great speed. So that was very, very, very important for them as well. And then the second goal comes from someone who was subbed on for Duba, Ashley Dupree. Again, Ashley Dupree, nothing but speed, but that time showing his fox in the box antics, and providing that all decisive goal. Of course, you can't speak about the game and not mention the quality of Tebogo Mokoena. Found the only goal for Sundowns. What a hit. A Tebogo Mokoena special, so deserves a special mention there. So in the end, I think it sets up the dream final for a huge section of the South African football fan base. So a Soweto Derby in the final of a major cup competition. The last time we saw that, of course, was in 2014, when Pirates played Chiefs in the final of the MTN 8. I think it was a Defo Mashamaite goal that decided the affair on that day. It would be interesting to see who decides the match this time around. Of course, even though the time is yet to be confirmed, the game has been confirmed that it will be playing in my backyard, the Moses Mabhida Stadium, on the 10th of May. Kaizer Chiefs as the home team, Pirates as the away team. Yeah, there's so many storylines that are attached to this particular fixture. As a journalist, I'm just rubbing my hands and thinking about, a lot of the parallels that are going to be drawn towards this game, and just the stats, the history, the rivalry, the venue. There's so much to discuss around this particular fixture. Of course, Pirates have played 14 Nedbank Cup games under Jose Rivero, and they've never lost one. And can you imagine what that would mean if the only game or the only Nedbank Cup game Jose Rivero loses before he leaves would be against Chiefs? Pirates is eternal rivals, of course. Um, Pirates are also looking to do a historic triple or treble of the Nedbank Cup, of course, having won it back to back. And now they want to do what they did with the MTN8 and win it 3 times in a row and be the first team to ever do that as well. They have already made history by qualifying for 3 Nedbank Cup finals in a row, but to be able to win it 3 times, and imagine if the club that would prevent them from doing that, again, the eternal rivals, Kaizer Chiefs. On the other end of the spectrum, of course, Chiefs have not won a trophy in 10 years. 10 years. Kaizer Chiefs have not won a trophy for 10 years. And they have the first opportunity to break that drought against the eternal rivals, Orlando Pirates. Just so much to look forward to, man, with this particular game. Yeah, I can tell you for free that Durban is going to be at a standstill on that particular game. We hope the security is going to be is going to be enough. It's going to be in full force. It's going to be alert because it's going to be a crazy occasion at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. And you can expect a crazy build up to the game as well. Of course, the two teams will play in the league 7 days before the final. So again, we'll sort of get a glimpse and sort of, get a little bit of an idea of how that Nedbank Cup final could possibly turn out, and the two teams will. I don't know whether they will appreciate playing so close so soon to the final, but it's the way that the fixture has been set up. So, yeah, it makes for an interesting game. It makes for an interesting couple of weeks as well. It just heightens the excitement around the Betway Premiership, the Premier Soccer League in general. So, yeah, I think we're all looking forward to it, and hopefully, we are served as much action and as much drama as we possibly could. Yeah, so we'll keep our eye on it.